I have been waiting for what feels like way too long to say these words, but we have a moose-hide satchel, and it's time to head to the far territory. Hello, Legion. This is Hadrian. Thank you for being here. Let's play some more of The Long Dark in our Against All Odds series. So we are ready to go. I have all these. Did I read all of the? I don't think I read all of these. I really don't.
Man, this pack is getting kind of heavy.
Hold on. Let me quickly check. Because I don't want to abandon obvious reading material. This might slow me down a little bit. Nope, didn't read any of these. Okay. Well, we will bring those with us. It's going to be a little bit encumbering. We might be able to do some things to reduce that before we go. Think of how much slower we would be moving if we weren't bringing those along. Okay, I do have these rosehip pies, which I need to eat before long, mainly because of the condition drop. But, okay, we don't have a whole lot that we can actually get rid of. I do have these extra cured guts that I can drop. So maybe we can do that. That'll free up a little bit of weight. And I have some cloth that I got last episode, and I think I will hold on to that. I have some water, which we can drink, and that actual burden will reduce after a while. Okay, yeah. It's a little bit of encumbrance, but we can deal with it. We are headed straight out of Mystery Lake, back into the muskeg. We will do our best to walk straight through the muskeg into Broken Railroad. We are a little bit slow on account of the books that I'm carrying with me, but I will be reading those at every opportunity and dropping them as I go. I knew that I had that cache of unfinished books somewhere, and I do not want to forsake all the time that I spent lugging them around and saving them by leaving them behind at this point, because that knowledge will come in handy in the far territory. So we will do our best to read those as we go. And again, eating and drinking will reduce encumbrance burdens as we move forward. So I'm not too worried about it. It's always interesting eating those rosehip pies because they're so sweet. They create that headache effect, which is a very new aspect of, I mean, you can see the chromatic aberration in the corner on the left in particular. On the right too, it's kind of going back and forth. It's pulsating, like headaches do. I think for a long time, as I discussed either earlier in this series or in the previous series, that's one of the reasons that I avoided eating the rosehip pies. The thing is, the headache is just an effect. It's just there for, like, you know, it's there to let you know that you ate something sweet and to create a little bit of immersion, which is kind of nice. But I think for a long time, because of the debuff, just seeing that red icon on the screen, my inner long dark fight or flight goes, nope, nope, don't want, and proceeds to avoid the rosehip pie. But I had some people mention, like a while back, I was making a lot of Bannock's, but I was avoiding or even outright ignoring the rosehip pies. And that was a good suggestion, because the rosehip pies, you get more of them as compared to Bannock's, and they're more beneficial. So much the better. Let's just keep on rolling. Weather's actually pretty nice. It's a little cold. We don't have all the ammo in the world either. So that's something to be mindful of. I will be picking cattails as I go. And there will be plenty of opportunities to do so all the way to the far territory. Interesting. It actually is pretty cold. 17 degrees at the moment.
I'm not sure I can carry much more.
Still 17. We'll see if it gets any colder in the next few moments. But we are literally just going to follow these tracks as quickly as we can. Obviously, the encumbrance is slowing us down a little bit. But again, if we didn't have the moose-hide satchel, it'd be slowing us down even more. It wouldn't be worth it, arguably. It would be interesting to get, I think it would be very difficult to get this, but it would be interesting to get a proportion of all my time spent in the Long Dark, particularly time spent in the Against All Odds series in all the various seasons. Specifically, to get a reading on like what percentage of that time, what proportion of that time have I spent walking around encumbered by more than a couple of pounds. Because as a fairly nomadic player, I tend to bring all my things with me. That's one of the reasons I was so quick during Season 01 to build the Travois and try to lug it behind me everywhere I went, which ended up being a mistake. But the Travois is an item that fits my playstyle in a lot of ways. It's just that I learned the hard way in that series. You don't want to try and bring the Travois everywhere. It would be good for moments like this, but then you want to leave it behind. You don't want to bring it into the far territory with you. So, like, I don't know if I actually had the components I would have needed in order to make it. You can check. We're not going to make it. Don't worry. I'm just thinking out loud. Oh wait, no, that's the wrong category. Hello? Oh, here we go. I don't think we had the deer hide or the maple saplings. It takes 4 cured maple saplings, but it would be good for a, this moment. It would make it easier for us to haul. Oh, hello, bear. It would make it easier to haul this excess weight that I'm currently hauling. All right, we're gonna kind of step sideways here. Long Dark is being the Long Dark at the moment, because the weather's actually pretty good.
Sure getting cold.
All things considered, we could make this trip fairly straightforwardly, and the bear was right on the tracks. So we got to go around. And while we're going around, we could run into all kinds of other problems. So we will see just how straightforward of a trip this is. All right, I see some more cattails. I want to be mindful of where the bear may be. Bear should be on the other side of me at this point, kind of that way, but still don't want to assume that he hasn't turned or changed direction at all. We're going to be getting pretty cold soon, so I will need to keep moving. I do have stems, which is useful. That's 3 cattails. I will take them. Let's step across here. Not likely to find any cattails in these thickets because these are the ones that I've kind of spent time in already. All right, the bear could be on my right, or left, so I need to be careful. My other right. I'm not sure if the bear... It's a completely new patrol route, so I'm not sure where the bear is at the moment. I think he crossed the tracks, though.
I'm so cold. I'm warming up a bit.
Okay, now I just need to be mindful of thin ice. Hopefully I can make it around this rock at least. Might not be able to. We'll see. Oh yeah, we're good. This stretch will be a little bit tougher, though. I don't know. I kind of want to try and sprint across there, but... Ooh, okay. Well, almost made it.
It's so cold. Think.
All right, then. Well, change of plans. God, we were so close. I really thought I was going to make it to that far bank. What I could have done is drop some of the extra weight, then it would have been fine. Bit of a plot twist then. Because we will need to get warm. It's kind of useful though, because it gives me a real reason to sit here and warm up, warm some beverages, to use this as a waypoint, which I wasn't going to do, but now the game has forced my hand. We do have hypothermia, by the way, because we just fell into ice. In case you missed that, we just dunked into ice water, so definitely have hypothermia. That was so close. That was so incredibly close. All right, I'm going to grab a few sticks. The bear is down the tracks. I can see his butt. So we will grab what we need for a fire here. Hopefully it'll be enough. There are limbs around, and that's good. And I'm not going to break that up just yet. This will at least get the fire going. So we'll do that. That will allow me to heat a beverage. We do have birch bark as well to stay healed.
Come on, little fire.
It has been a long time since I've taken that kind of a risk on the ice. But I just didn't want to go all the way back around. And so here we are with hypothermia. Let's go ahead and cook birch bark tea. Drink that. That'll warm us up a little bit. We're going to go ahead and put the... Come on. There we go. Put the bedroll down. Now, I imagine I will still be able to get some sticks from around the area, so let's do that. Yeah, plenty of spaces where we can do so. I can grab this one. Take 13 minutes. Okay, this is going to cost us a little bit of our health. Now, unfortunately, we don't have any coal, but we do have that wood. I'm going to need to rest for a bit. We're going to be nursing this hypothermia for probably the majority of the episode. But it gives me a chance to consider some other options. And it makes life more interesting. So... Alright, now the fire is actually warm enough. Are we still warming up from the beverage we drank? Yes, we are. So, do I have any coffee? I do. So next order of business will be to drink this coffee, which has some caloric value to it, of course. Now, we're pretty tired on account of the hypothermia, but I need this fire to last, so I need to take a look at what my options are here. This is a big limb. It's going to take a while to chop up. Don't love that. That'll take 58 minutes. Anything that's not going to take forever? 58 minutes. Man. I almost have to rest for a bit by this fire in order to make this worthwhile. I'll go ahead and break this down. It'll take 7 minutes, so I get 3 sticks. That's 5 sticks from the area. There are some others I can break up. So I'll walk over there real quick. Yeah, we're just going to need to rest. Keeping an eye out for mainly the bear. Okay, let's go back before we lose any more health. There's another scrub brush right by the tree. That's good to know. I see some branches over there and some sticks.
This is so cold.
Nice, and some scrub brushes. Okay, so there's plenty of wood in the area. I think I'll be good. Oh, is that coal? That's coal! Hell yeah. Where did that come from? I feel like I would have grabbed that the first time I was here, but no. Okay, well that's a huge win. I did not think there was coal left here, but apparently I was not paying attention, or that coal materialized out of nowhere. So now we have 4 hours on a very warm fire. Let's see. Let me go ahead and cook. We'll just drink this coffee. It'll warm us up a bit and give me the opportunity to grab a few more sticks. I think I want to go ahead and grab this scrub brush. That's the most obvious opportunity. And there is another one out on this little, we'll call it an island. It's not quite an island, but it counts. Okay, so if there was coal there, is there coal anywhere else? That's the next question. Is it possible that I've overlooked it anywhere else? And also, is that bear still going in the same direction, or has he turned around?
I can't feel my feet.
That's the other thing that I don't know for sure. Oh, I hear a bear. I heard bear crows too, but I thought for sure that might be a different bear. Oh yeah, there's the bear right there.
I've never felt so cold.
I am glad I didn't keep walking. That was close. Okay. Okay. I was just checking for any more pieces of coal that I might have overlooked. I cannot believe that was there. It's such a huge win. All right, we got 3 hours, 54 minutes on the fire. I mean, honestly, it's not that long. I do not love that because we need the fire to last us. But one thing I will do in order to offset condition loss here is we'll drink another birch bark tea before we go to bed. And on top of that, actually, hold on, there's more that we can do. Because what I'll do is eat some of this salty stuff to create some more thirst. And now I can get an herbal tea out of my flask. Eat this herbal tea. We'll drink that. Okay. Restore condition obtained. Okay, so we have warming up, restore condition, improved rest. Everything that we could possibly need. Now, hypothermia, I need to remain above freezing for 24 hours. Good times. So, let's go ahead and sleep for, I'm going to say 4 hours. We will regain a lot of health. We're going to wake up with some time on the fire, because again, this counts as an outdoor fire, thankfully, so that timer is lying. There will still be time on this fire, 2 hours in fact. But we need to keep this thing going. Okay, we don't have an aurora, surprisingly. Okay, I think what honestly makes the most sense, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to heat up another coffee, and we're going to chop up one of those limbs. And I think that'll help us do what we need to do here. All right, let me just make sure there's not a bear right here, because that would be terrifying. There is. There's a bear right in front of me. I didn't see him, but I heard him. And the bear is either to my left or to my right. And it's possible the bear actually aggroed just now because we were that close and we got up and we ran. So the bear's not gonna... I don't think they're charging, or we would have heard. Yeah, I mean, they're definitely not charging. But I don't know exactly where the bear is. Well, that was badly timed, because that was my last coffee. I have more warm beverages, but in terms of things that can keep me awake, give me more energy, that was it. I think the bear's probably going the same way it was before, which is to say, that way. Until I know exactly where the bear is, though, I don't want to push too far here. He's to my left. Where are you? Right there. Okay. So this is 1 hour and 18 minutes for 5 pieces of cedar firewood. I'm going to tank some condition loss here. Alright. Worth it? Oh boy. Okay. We're fine. Everything's fine. We are going to live. Everything is awesome. Let's now... I want to drink another tea so I can get my improved rest back.
I can lay down and have a little sleep right here.
Okay, so now we can sleep for 6 hours if we want to. I'm going to say 5. We will recover some condition, but we still have to stay above freezing for a certain period of time. Alright, we still have 3 hours, 51 minutes on the fire. I'm tempted to sleep for 2 more hours right now. Matter of fact, I think I'll go ahead and do that, because that will bring the sun up. Now, it's going to be really cold. We'll still have 2 hours, 50 minutes on the fire. Oh, nice. We've got a morning fog. I will take it. Tell you what, let's go ahead and indulge on some of the food that we're carrying. Not as encumbered anymore. Funny old world, isn't it? Alright, so now we've given ourselves a headache. It's fine. Let's drink some water. We still have other limbs nearby to keep this fire going as long as we need to.
What do you know? Looks like I survived another night.
Looks like you did, Jennifer. Looks like you did. Okay, so next limb. I'm going to grab this one next. There's still lots of sticks and scrub brushes around, which is nice. So I can still add tiny bits to the fire when I feel like it. Ooh, this is a fir limb. Perfect. I didn't catch that. Oh boy. Oh boy. Okay, that was rough. That was a lot of condition loss. I was not expecting that. And I think... Does that reset the hypothermia timer, or... Hang on. I think that resets the hypothermia timer. Damn it. Okay. That lasted a lot longer than I thought it would.
Man, I am too tired to think straight.
I guess we'll find out, though, because I'm going to keep resting. And if it... We'll see if the number drops when I rest here for a bit. All right, so we're tired again because of hypothermia. I seriously get hypothermia so rarely that I'm sitting here like, wait, how does this mechanic work again?
This
Okay.
pack is getting kind of heavy.
Let's sleep for... How much time's on the fire? We got 8 hours. Let's sleep for 5 of them, just to recover some of that condition we just lost, because that was bad. And now let's see. Yeah, it reset the timer. Great. Love that. Love it for me. Okay, what I'm going to have to do is be a lot more careful. Thankfully, the fire is warm enough now. But I'm just going to have to get lots of little itty-bitty pieces of wood. Alright, it's warmer at the moment. Ironically, this is a situation where there is cause to burn those books that I brought with me that I haven't read yet. I'm not going to, but there's an argument to be made for doing that at this point. There are some afflictions in the long dark that... Alright, there we go. The timer just pauses at a moment like that, as opposed to resetting. So I genuinely was not sure from memory which one hypothermia was. But you have to stay outside for 24 consecutive hours. That much is very clear to me now. Thank you for that, game. Okay. So we still have 6 hours on the fire. We have got to do more to keep it going. I wish there was more coal laying around here. That would be amazing. In some ways, the optimal approach here is just... I'm going to make sure that I'm not walking up on that bear. But in some ways, the optimal approach is just to go back to Mystery Lake and rest inside. But I think I can manage by resting here. Just grabbing sticks and scrub brushes. I think I'll be able to sleep for the required amount of time. This is a good amount of wood that's laying around. And it's getting foggy again, which is a good sign. From a temperature standpoint. Let's go back.
I can drop any of this gear.
Yeah, like, for example, like, how much time do we have right now? 18 hours. And I could start a fire by one of those other pieces of wood. A fire that would last long enough for me to harvest it without actually losing temperature. Alright, so that's 8 hours, but of course that's more than 8 because of the way the temperature mechanics work. So it's probably more like 10 or 12. I do need to rest a little bit more. So I'm super tired. I should probably do that. I could rest for 6. But tell you what, I'm going to say 4. We will definitely be picking some cattails on the way to the far territory now. Because we'll be out of all other sources of food. Speaking of other sources of food, I could kill the bear. That's one thing I could absolutely do. And then I'd be fine on food here. Okay, let me step out here and we're going to break up these scrub brushes. The one risk, by the way, in just running out here and breaking up these little branches for 13 minutes for 13-minute increments of time. Oh wow, look at the lighting.
Not sure I can carry much more.
The one risk is that when you are speeding up time like that, it speeds up the placement of animals on their patrol routes. It basically just sort of fast forwards them and moves them along. So there's always the chance a bear could literally walk up on me while I'm doing what I was doing just now. The main thing is just staying above freezing for 13 more hours. We have 6 hours on the fire. I've got plenty of water at the moment, got plenty of food. Let's eat a little bit more. And I need to go ahead and wrap up this episode for the day. So what I'm going to do is sleep for 3 more of these hours. Just 3. To create the save point. And that will be that. That time really snuck up on me. I wasn't realizing that it was that far into the episode. We'll stop this one, and next time I will go out and see what I can do to add a little bit more wood to this fire. We still have 5 hours on it, so the main thing is just staying warm enough. Thankfully, it's foggy, which is good from a temperature standpoint, bad from a visibility and threat management standpoint, so I'll just have to keep my head on a swivel and see how this hypothermia journey plays out. We got 10 more hours. That's not bad. So we're over halfway into the timer, and then we just need to be really careful and hopefully not have to turn back, but we will just kind of play that by ear. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to follow along. For early episodes, channel emotes, and member badges, look for the join button. New episodes will be arriving at 1 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time every other day, and comments are always welcome, so leave your thoughts below, and I'll see you next time.